Gather round, all ye introverts. This is for you. So I don't know, I don't think it's a topic that has been explored in great detail. I don't know, I've not seen it explored actually myself, but it's something I've been thinking about. How an introvert might lose out on job opportunities. I've got other videos on this, so please keep an eye out. If it's not been uploaded, it's going to be uploaded. Just subscribe and you'll see it. I promise you, I've got loads to say on this topic, but something I've been pondering lately. Because who is an introvert? An introvert is someone who, and there are different spectrums, there are different shades, and I'm not even going to go into that because I think enough study has been done on the topic already. But an introvert generally, introverts struggle with the idea of meeting new people, especially groups of people. When an introvert finally gets to meet people, so let's say something like networking to start with, an introvert would struggle with the idea. But if they do finally put themselves out there, they will probably enjoy it. But it's the thoughts. And I'm talking like I am an introvert, and I know that with my friends and I, we agree, let's say we're going out next week, and it's fine, it's a good idea, yeah, I'm ready. And days to the time, the idea starts to weigh me down, and I'm thinking, do I really want to go? How should I just stay at home? And it's either two things. One, on the day I just find something to say, oh, sorry, I can't come, something happened, whatever. Or I finally make it out there and I enjoy the outing so much, even better than everybody else. But this is something that we deal with from constantly. So just the idea of meeting new people, it could be a bit daunting. Secondly, an introvert is someone who would need time to think, to gather their thoughts. And I'm not saying like hours or anything, but an introvert might not have an instant response to what you ask them. So a bit more reflective. Many times I have an answer. So someone says something like, quick joke. My answer, by the time I kind of get my answer, the person is gone. And that's a reality where I'm probably not the quickest, with the words, like, just say it before thinking. An introvert will consider and then say it. So when you put those together to say that, when we then put all of it together, so we're looking at someone who finds the idea of meeting new people daunting, and someone who needs to gather their thoughts, who needs to reflect. When you put all of them together, you can almost start to see how an interview scenario plays out for the introvert. And this is not low confidence at all. This is not low self-confidence. It is being an introvert. It's not because you're not confident in yourself or you're shy. I think some introverts are shy and reserved. Some of us fall in that spectrum. I think I am as well. That's there as well. But when you put all these factors together, when we then start looking at traditional interview models, where you might be facing a panel. I've had to face a panel of 7 people surrounding me, and I remember just looking around and trying to answer and thinking, okay, who should I focus on? Because one thing introverts like, we enjoy one-on-one conversation. So I'm talking to you, you're talking to me, I'm getting some feedback from what we're saying. But just throwing me 7 people around, and this one question, and there's no time to even gather your thoughts before you have to answer, and you're wondering, okay, have I said the right thing? Again, this is something I think introverts worry about, the fear of being wrong, of being humiliated. What have I said, is it correct? So all of that together, I think as a whole just tells you how interviews maybe could be ruling out introverts. So the traditional interviews process that we have could be ruling out introverts, from the race, unconsciously. So I've got other videos on that. I've got a lot to say about this topic, addressing the interviewers mostly. And so if it's not on there, please subscribe. It's coming. I'm recording everything today. Just take time to upload them, but it would all be there. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just talking to you as an introvert who has to go through this thing that we call interviews. I hate them. I don't know if you hate them, but I do hate them. I don't like them, but I get the points. I get why they're there, but I don't like them. So let me just go through my points, how I cope, some of my coping strategies for this. So the first one, I would say, don't over prepare. So I think we do want to know everything. So we want to know everything, and we prepare, we read sleepless nights, and gathering information. It's okay to do your preparation. It is good. You should prepare for an interview, but don't over prepare, don't overdo it. Because I think sometimes the more you know, the more confused you get, or the more worried you are about what you don't know. So it's okay to know, okay, I know this company, I know about them. If they got some published materials out there, maybe their financials, whatever, depends on where you're going, what role you're applying for as well. If they've got something published, yes, have a look, have a quick glance. Don't read a 300-page financial summary unless you're going for a CEO position. But I wouldn't read all the 300 and something pages that's out there. But have a quick glance. Know what team you're going to. Just the role. What area. You don't even need to know what team. They should be telling you what team it is. But the gist of it all is don't over prepare. Because over preparing somehow just increases the pressure, the tension. The more you read and lose your sleep and all of that, I think enough preparation is okay. So more importantly, you know yourself. You know what you're bringing to the table. They should tell you what they have to offer. They should be telling you about their company, not you digging and trying to find out more than you need to know just for attending the interview. The next step, the next point for me is I distract myself. So I might prepare the day before. Let's say I have an interview in the afternoon. I might prepare the day before, have a quick glance at something in the morning, but I try to distract myself beforehand. I try to get into something else. Some of the things I've done lately is I just have a nap, like just set my alarm. So I remember having a 3 o'clock interview and just thinking, 2 o'clock, I needed to sleep. I needed a 30 minutes nap. Because it's the pressure, again, being an introvert, that thought of, I'm going to meet these new people. First of all, I'm going to meet new people. Okay, that's okay if it was a social setting, but they're going to be asking me questions. I don't know what the questions will be, but I've got to respond immediately. All of that puts pressure. I don't know about you. It does put pressure on me. So I remember just having a 30-minute nap before and then woke up, freshen up my face, and sat there. I've gone walking as well. Just go out, put some loud music in my ear, just blast away the noise and the stress. I've done that, walking, exercising, dancing. I like dancing. So it's something sometimes I just do it just to warm up and get my mind in a different zone, in a more comfortable zone just before the time. But whatever you can do to distract you, especially if you've been preparing and possibly over preparing, I think some distraction helps just to break the monotony of that preparation that you've been doing. So yeah, I think that's something to consider. And now, so the next point, we are now in the interview, and they would normally start by telling you about the company, about the team, about the role. Please listen. Just listen. I'll tell you why. So when they start telling you about the company, first of all, that's the warm-up stage. That would then get you warming up, because that's what we need. As an introvert, you've got to have that one-on-one connection, that one-on-one. So this person is warming things up here. I now know about the company. Actually listen. Sometimes we're still waiting for them to finish talking so that we can start talking about all these different questions that we think they might ask, and we're trying to preempt that we don't listen. But what I'll say is truly listen. If you have any question at that time, ask. All of that warms you up. It then brings you back into familiar territory. Okay, I've made that initial connection. That tension I felt about getting to meet this new person is gone. I can actually then have a conversational interview with them. So listen, ask questions. Don't worry about the questions that they may ask. Yes, the next question will most likely be, tell me about yourself. But don't worry about that. Don't start thinking, do I remember this or do I remember that? Just forget about that. Listen. Another reason why you should listen as well is that when you ask questions, even if not at that time, much later in the interview, when you ask questions out of the things you've heard, then it makes the interviewer know that you actually listened and you actually, care, about the role that you're applying for. So if, for example, they tell you, This role, we're merging some teams together, and just listen and maybe ask why. And if you're merging the teams together, how has this created an opportunity for me? The sort of things. Are you going to get rid of people? Like, just ask. It gives you one, it warms you up. Secondly, the interviewer knows you're listening. Thirdly, it tells you more about the company than they probably would have told you if you didn't hear those things and ask. So listen. That's my third point. Just listen. Forget about all your preparation. Forget about, oh, I might forget this or not. Just listen. That would help you, promise. Then the fourth thing that you should do, and I will do this, I have this in different video. Like I always say, please keep an eye out, subscribe if you're not subscribed, but it's going to come. It's probably there already. It's going to come. It's just in the order in which we load these things up, but it's there as well. So I've come up with and there are different forms of this. People do different things, but there's something that I've done that works for me. I've prepared my own template because I believe that my CV is something that is external, something I send to a recruiter, to a hiring manager. But for myself, I've got my own CV, my personal CV, and I will share this in another video. You keep an eye out for that. It's probably there already. But that's experience catalog. I call it an experience catalog. People call it different things, but I call it a work experience catalog. I would explain that in another video, but that helps. It helps. That's what I use. That's what I look at. I don't really read my CV. I know the things. I know where I was in 2012 or 2018. I know where I was. So my CV doesn't necessarily add a lot of value for me, but that does. So look out for that, and then you'll see how that works out. Explain that in a whole video. And lastly, breathe. So in that whole stress and tension, and I know like minutes to my interview, again, I'm not someone that doesn't know what to say in an interview. I'm not someone that even lacks the confidence, but it's just that shortness of breath, like almost like COVID, like shortness of breath. Like, you've got to breathe, just relax, because it's always good in the end if you know your stuff. Interviews are interesting if you've got your confidence, your self-confidence. Interviews are actually nice. You're just talking to someone who could be your colleague, so it's not that deep, it's not that scary, but it's the whole, I think, my introvert nature that makes me worry about the prospect. It's just a prospect. I'm going to meet these people and all of that, and I'm going to talk to the interviewers, to the hiring managers, about some of the considerations that we should start thinking about for introverts, but that will be in a separate video. I'm trying to not make these things too long, but I've got too much to say. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think. Thank you. Bye.